see. How far for that son of a bitch go?
Park in the middle. Okay.
They got something in there over $1 saying, hey man, it says $1 off for one. No $1.19 plus tax or $1.29 plus tax.
Come here, Boots. Boots. Come here, Boots. Here, Boots. Come on. Here, Boots. Come here, Boots. Come on, Boots. Here, Boots. You're going away. Boots. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You gotta get up, smell him.
He ain't gonna hurt you, Boocher.
He's like, yeah, I'll be petted.
Aww, baby.
Cewjo.
I can play
Go
down
get him.
like
Go
that.
get him. Go get him, Boots. Go get him. Say, fuck you. I ain't going over there.
Boots. Boots. You know who I am. You ready? Come on. Go.
No, no.
How's the ant? Oh, there it is.
Say bye, Boots. Say bye.
Oh, he ain't jealous.
Aww.
He said, I'm in here. He's scared. He's scared.
Scared again.
But he ain't gonna hurt you, Bluebird.
He's under the table now.
There he is.
Are you running that thing?
Yeah, it's flickering. Have to climb.
Come here over here, Boo. Hey. Yeah, you want that? Looky here. Oh. Oh, yeah. What's that thing? Oh, yeah. He said, "Be the hell out of that rawhide." Come on. Here. Come on. There you go. Now you get a good view of it. Come on, play tug of war with me. You got it? You just got it. It's a bitty big. Boo. Shit, you ain't gonna get it looking like a you now, man. He's busy. That bone will look like that piece of rawhide on that one end. Cold white when he gets that chewing on it.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever you do, when he gets done chewing and he never leaves it, just leave his bone leg, just put it where he'll find it by his dish or something. Because he'll chew on that son of a bitch till there ain't nothing there. Huh? What's my name? Is there somebody here?
You can't.
Oh, poo. Hell with him, he ain't nobody, he's a damn dog. Good little damn dog though. He's getting that Merle out of there. Yeah, Boo, we went and won today, what we won. We won in another ring.
Boo.
That ain't hers, that ain't the other half.
Boo.
We got a paper in the mail, we just went to Dame Hurdle to pick that up.
Oh. On account of you being married.
Boo.
No, we were a winner. I sent in because we was down there looking at rings and had her set in there. And they had drawings for rings. And they had a half a set like hers. And that's what she wanted.
Hey, boy.
It matches. The
Hey,
other one's
Boo.
like Dad's.
Boo. Boo. Come here, boy. Come here.
That's what we're going to do.
Come here, boy.
Come
here.
Oh, yeah, she got to get this cut down.
Should have that on the other side.
So that one other one will just go up. It's over there.
It does. It just sinks right in there.
Well, should I tell her now?
Yeah.
That's her whole set.
That's what I thought.
What the? Oh, I see what he's doing. Just let know, just let me record a little bit of it. He got sitting on the floor talking under the table instead of holding it. He just had to sit on the floor recording.
Oh. Here. Sit. Sit. Sit, Boots. Sit. Sit, Boots. Sit. Come here. No. Sit, Boots. Sit. Sit. Come on, sit. Sit. Come here, Boots. Come here. Come here, bud. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Just keep on taking. Boy, there's a lot of them. There's a person in a wheelchair. That's probably the brake. That's probably why the brake is. That's Mr. Hudson.
People coming in. And here,
I don't
can't
think
see
there
it.
is. No.
Gee, I'm little.
Take them off.
Walking in?
Mm-hmm.
Or way over there?
Well, we're moving around for a while. Oh man, they're still coming.
Stopped.
Hmm?
They stopped.
It did.
Moving. We'll see her.
Can't see him. Billy's in the ones in the blue. Are you still taking them? I know you are. It's flickering.
Bobby.
Scott!
We just didn't know
Hey,
that
Scott!
I yelled at him and he didn't even.
Hey, Scott!
Put it right there. There you go.
Yeah.
to see him. He's going to be right back in here. Get him up here. Don't fall down, please. I can't see anything wrong. Whoa, get your hands down. I bet he's coming over here and leave. Oh, nuts. Maybe you can get him right over here.
I saw Tanya.
He didn't want us to see him. He ran off.
What do you want me to do?
All night we're out there.
I was gonna take one of Jeff down there. He's down there.
They waving. Yeah, he's walking. Wait a minute.
Hey, there's Jeff.
He won't look back down here. Yeah, he got one over there. Dawn! Dawn! Get one. Have her turn. Make her turn around. Dawn! 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 Yeah. Here, hon, I can get her. Come on. Here, hon, I can get her.
Are you ready?
Yeah, Jeff turned around and said, "Hey, wait!" What happened? I don't know.
I took quite a few.
You're very good.
Get the other way.
You're very good at changing.
Huh? Where's he at? Where's he at?
Right down there in the back.
Well, we got some.
They're gonna have them. Oh. Got it on?
You won't be able to get a good angle on the picture.
And we give thanks. Thanks to our parents and families for their sustaining love and support. Thanks to the teachers and administration of our high school for their patience, teaching skills, and career direction. Thanks also for our community and nation for freedom to select, choose, and be ourselves. Bless each of our class at this commencement. Cause us to have a sense of direction and gratitude in pursuing our hopes and dreams. And keep in us a state of peace within our nation as well as our hearts. We pray in the name of a loving, providing, and caring God. Amen.
And that, I believe, are shared by all of you. There's a reason why everyone dresses alike at commencement, or almost alike. When I was sitting in your seat, I and most of my classmates were still focusing on the differences among us. Who was going to be the valedictorian? Who was going to be the most successful? Who was at the top of the class and who wasn't? Let me tell you that over the years, I've had to revise my resume many times. And every time I do so, the section devoted to my high school career shrinks. It is now one line, Quincy Senior High School, 1969. That and that alone is what people now want to know about me, and is a factor that, at least within my world, makes me virtually unique. Although there are more than 500 of you here tonight, when you scatter into the world, you will find yourself unique in the respect that you graduated from Quincy High School, and precisely in this year. Now let me point to some of the things you will carry with you, like it or not. You have been exposed. You may not have adopted them all, but you have been exposed to what everyone else calls old-fashioned Midwestern values. Just let me mention a few: honesty, punctuality, courtesy, frugality. And I must say about frugality, please, if you are ever rich, don't flaunt it the way a lot of people in New York and Hollywood do. These may sound banal, but if you think they can be taken for granted, I urge you to try to get subway directions from a token clerk in New York. You are also probably, by the standards of most high school students in this country, well-rounded. If you were going to stay busy in Quincy during your lives, you pretty much had to be well-rounded. You couldn't specialize in fossil collecting or contemporary string quartets and find enough to do. There is a virtue to being well-rounded that goes beyond simply having a smattering of skills in different areas. If you've thought about some of these experiences, you'll realize you have been better at some activities than others. And no matter how much you eventually excel at something, you will have respect for those who excel at what you didn't. That is an extremely important point in keeping perspective in life. Quincy, compared to New York City where I live, is also a very homogeneous community. It is amazing when I look out at this crowd to realize that within the first half of the next century, white Christians will be a minority in this country. That is not true in Quincy. And yet, because of the relatively small size of this class, and the fact that you live in a small city, not a suburb, not a neighborhood, not a ghetto, you have met an incredible diversity of other kinds of people. If you haven't already learned, I think you will learn that no one religion, no one economic class, and no one race has a lock on happiness, integrity, or the potential for success. Probably never again will you find yourselves in daily contact with as diverse a group of people as you have just been living with for the last 4 years. And I hope you carry these lessons with you. From living in Quincy, I suspect you are also self-reliant. You know how to amuse yourself. You don't depend on an array of 50 movies, 14 Broadway shows, 67 sporting events, and countless other activities available to you every weekend. You may eventually live somewhere, as I do, where those opportunities are available to you. I still find that there is no better entertainment than that which you generate for yourselves. And finally, I think you will, whether you know it now or not, carry a valuable sense of perspective with you throughout your lives. I doubt that anyone here has been exposed already to so much that you are jaded, that you can't get excited about some of the riches and exciting events that face you in life. Similarly, although Quincy is not stocked with celebrities, I doubt that you would be dazzled by one if you met them. I'm a big fan of Vanna White, but I doubt in 10 years if many of us will remember who she was. This is not meant to gloss over the fact that Quincy, like other city, Quincy High School, like any other school, has some problems. But I was recently at a dinner party in New York speaking with a very sophisticated group of people about the virtues of different regions of the country. And it's true that in New York you have the beaches, you have the mountains. In California you have the climate. You have big cities sprinkled across the land. But there was unanimous agreement in this conversation that if you could choose anywhere to raise your children, it would be a small city in the Midwest. Someday you will realize how lucky you have been to be here right now. You are also unique in that you are finishing your adolescent years. Now there's good news and bad news in that. A recent psychological study I reviewed said that the teens are the most difficult and painful decade in most people's lives. The 20s were a close runner-up. You must begin now to prepare for some pretty dramatic changes in your lives. And I think you can start at tonight's all-night party. If you have been mean to anybody, cruel, thoughtless, insensitive, make up tonight because you will be amazed 10 years from now who is successful, who is beautiful, who is handsome, who is rich, and who you want to be friends with. Don't take any chances. We live in an era of great change. Nothing anyone can tell you now or has been able to tell you in the last 4 years can entirely prepare you for what you will face in your lifetimes. But you have been given the tools to think. Your knowledge is not so important for being able to remember the date of the Magna Carta. It is important for having trained you to confront complex problems and come up with solutions when there will be no one there to tell you what is right and wrong. You now will begin to a much greater degree to begin to look within yourself for grades, for standards, and for approval. And you will gradually need to look less and less to others, to teachers, to friends. Ultimately, you and only you will be the judge of the success or failure in your lives. Failure is an important part of anyone's existence. If you have suffered failures already, and I don't doubt that there are a few who have, possibly even tonight, you have gone through some valuable experiences. Failure is a galvanizing force. In my own career, one of the most acute failures I ever experienced was while I was a student at Quincy High School. I desperately wanted to be the American Field Service nominee to go abroad one summer. Desperately wanted. I can't tell you, I could taste it. I thought there was nothing in the world that would compensate for being able to go to Europe. There were only 7 or 8 applicants out of the whole class, and they were choosing 2. So not only did I desperately want it, I was overconfident, because when the choices were made, I was not chosen, and it was devastating. But out of there grew a burning desire that one way or another I was going to get to Europe, and I scraped together enough money, and I begged, pleaded, and cajoled it out of my parents, so that within a few months of graduation, on my own, I got to Europe. I hope any failures of yours are a basis not for disillusionment or giving up, but for a new determination to succeed at what really counts. In fact, it will be in some ways more difficult for the few of you who have had an entirely charmed life and have had an extraordinary degree of success to this point. There really is very little coasting in life. Just because you have triumphed now does not mean that you aren't going to have to start all over again very soon, working very hard to prove yourself. And that's no reason to be discouraged. In my experience, is reason to get up with new energy every day, but it is not easy. This is a highly competitive society. It's going to be no less so when you leave Quincy. And no matter how successful you have been, you are going to have to work hard. As you look to yourself, you will begin to draw on the values that, whether you realize it or not, are a part of you because of the fact that you are graduating from Quincy High now. The most important decision in my life really came when I decided to quit practicing law as a lawyer and to become a journalist. On the surface, this decision made absolutely no sense. I had spent 3 years of hard work in law school. I had studied incredibly hard to pass the bar exam. I'd spent untold thousands of dollars of my parents' money getting this education. And I had a good job, making a good deal of money. But this was an extremely competitive environment in which for every 10 lawyers my age working at the firm, possibly one would eventually be made a partner. And I looked around at who was succeeding, who was being tapped for that lifetime tenure. And curiously enough, I found the one factor in common was that these were the young lawyers who loved their work. They didn't like it, they didn't tolerate, they certainly didn't dislike it. They really loved it. And I reflected on that. I was alarmed at first because I realized that I didn't love it. I liked it all right, and I liked earning a regular salary, but I didn't love it. And so, as I reflected more, it dawned on me that, in fact, this is a truly happy coincidence. Because if you're going to have to do something, and if the only thing you will truly excel at is something that you love, then what could be better? Hard work doesn't feel like hard work if you enjoy it. And I'm sure you all have had experiences in doing well in a subject primarily because you liked it and not because you necessarily worked any harder than at something else. As a result of that, I sat down. I remember vividly I was sitting with a friend on the balcony of the Watergate Hotel not all that long after the Watergate scandal. And I started making a little checklist of what it was I liked to do, loved to do, what my strengths were, and even more importantly, what my weaknesses were. And I ultimately came up with journalism. This was probably the biggest risk I ever took in my life. I had to take a big pay cut. I started working for a new magazine where I assure you, we didn't know from one week to the next whether the magazine would even continue to exist, let alone whether we'd get a paycheck. And yet I look back on that period of my life as one of the most exciting, galvanizing times of my life. You will know when it comes. You will take a deep breath. You will know what your values are, and then is the time to act. Don't be afraid to do it. Ultimately, there are very many measures of success in life. I have received only a few of those. And certainly my career has never been an unqualified success at every stop. Some of you will find success in your careers, some in your personal life, in your family, in your hobbies, in your sporting activities, whatever it is. One of the great glories of America is the multitude of ways that people find to express themselves, to achieve, and to enjoy life. I know that while the goal sometimes seems distant, that is within the grasp of each and every one of you. Winning the Pulitzer Prize, which I received in a ceremony last week, was truly a dream come true for me. To have a dream come true, though, you have to have dreams. And you have to have a lot of dreams, because not all of them are going to come true. I hope commencement for you will be the beginning in many ways of a new life, but let it be the beginning in at least this way as well. Take a deep breath. Muster your courage, because it does take courage. Draw upon your knowledge. Continue to learn. Look within yourself and start dreaming and never stop. Some of them, not all, but some.
In 1910, 13% of youngsters in this country were graduating from high school. In 1940, it was 24%, and we didn't need any more than that. In 1981, it was 70%. Tonight's graduating class from Quincy Senior High School, 88% of the students who entered the 9th grade are here tonight graduating with this high school graduating class. And that we're very proud of that, and I know as parents and the faculty, Mr. DeVries, and the people who are responsible for it, you have a right to be so. But the people who should be most proud of it are the people of this community. Because although each youngster that graduates in this country will make on the order of $250,000 more in their lifetime than the student who fails to graduate, or every student who has graduated since 1982, above our 75% graduating record at that time. This community and the community of the United States will get in excess of $37 million in earning power, of which $11 million will be returned to the community in taxes and so forth. I make that comparison because in the category of people in the United States, 25 to 34-year-olds, without a high school diploma, they cost this country $77 billion a year. So it's with a great deal of pride tonight, Mr. DeVries, that I accept this graduating class. I congratulate you. I look forward to a very good future for you. I thank you for making our lives a lot more pleasant and look forward to great things from you. This time I'd like to introduce Bruce Prendle, President of the Board of Education. On behalf of the Quincy Board of Education, I'd like to congratulate the students and welcome the parents, relations, and friends. As I was sitting there, I was making mental notes of what I had planned to say, and as the various ones I kept crossing the things off that they said. So I'm going to have to come up with something else because otherwise I'd have to say thank you right now, and that wouldn't work out very well. We are indeed fortunate that we have Mr. Stewart here tonight, all his accomplishments, and I found out something last night thanks to Bob DeVries, that he really has done even more than you think because he had Bob for a counselor, and he made it in spite of that. That's very good. So I think we owe Bob something for probably the failure he was talking about. I would like to say that because I'm on the board, and I do see a lot of the accomplishments, and I'm proud of the quiz bowl, etc., that I believe if Secretary of Education Bennett could come here, he'd sing a different tune. I really do. And I'm supposed to be along with the rest of the board, supposed to kind of be the boss, I suppose, but everybody kept telling me to make this short, so I guess I'm really not. I'd only like to say one more thing, that as you do go out, all of you are just as important as every other student. Don't think that you're better than any the rest, or if you leave a room, that everything goes to pot because, it's just no good then. Because in a poem, I guess it said it pretty well, I saw it the other day, said, and maybe you've heard it, stick your hand into a bucket of water up to your wrist. And when you pull it out, the hole that's left is how much you'll be missed. So just keep that in mind. And once again, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Superintendent Sharman and Board President. This time we're going to clear the deck and start the awarding of diplomas. So just hold on a second.
Excuse me?
Leanne August. Tracy Balfour. Kathy Bennett. Geraldine Benton. Julie Bigelow. Lisa Blackner. Debbie Horn. Lynn Bauer.